In our tips and tricks section, we want to show you guys a couple of things that we've learned out in the field sharpening with our machines that we want to pass on to you to allow you to be as successful as you can with the sharp machine. One knife that we're seeing a lot more of is a knife called the Tonto, and that's simply just a blade design. You can see we have a main edge here, and then it sweeps up just a straight edge, and you actually end up with a secondary point right here. What I see happening a lot is guys are bringing me their Tonto blades that they've sharpened on a stone or some other type of sharpening system, and they've actually rounded off that secondary point and they want it repaired. So I'm going to show you how we do that on a machine like this, how to sharpen an edge, a Tonto blade, without damaging that secondary point. And all you do is treat each edge as a separate edge. You sharpen your main edge just like you would any other knife. As soon as the secondary point slides over the belt, lift, okay? And then you pivot your screw or your pin until the secondary edge is perpendicular to the belt. And you start at that secondary edge or secondary point and come across the belt just like so. Again, what you do to one side of the blade, you alternate do to the other side of the blade. Now, one thing I am seeing more of with these Tonto blades is the single-sided Tonto, where only one side of the blade is beveled, and the other side, if there's any bevel at all, it's very minute, very, very small. It's a very durable edge. A lot of guys who are cutting cardboard, boxes and such as that, or wire that need a good stand-up edge are starting to use those a lot. What you do on any single-sided or single-beveled knife, where it's only beveled on one side of the blade, I do a 5-to-1 pass. I'll make 5 passes on the beveled side until I've got a burr raised up, and then I'll flip over and very, very, very lightly, you just want to think of just kissing that burr along the belt just enough to roll the burr back over, so that when you make your next set of passes on the beveled side, you can read the edge and see if there's any more damage, if there's any more work left to be done. Just remember, on the non-beveled side, it's just a light kiss just to roll the burr back over. Okay, now we've got our main edge, or got our edge repaired. We'll switch to our 600 silicon carbide to start finishing our edge. The process is the same all the way through. Now we do our micro bevel, which again is the same as any other knife. And last but not least, we remove the burr and polish the edge. paper test. Nice clean cut, and you have a nice crisp secondary point on your Tonto blade there. One other thing I'd like to show you is how to sharpen an axe or a hatchet on the sharp machine. We do that freehand, simply because it's pretty hard to clamp up the back of an axe. What you see I'm looking at, I don't know if you can see, there are arrows on the back of the belt. The belts are directional. We do want to turn them in the same direction all the time with the arrows rolling away from. Okay. To sharpen an axe, I like a convex bevel on my axes. I like them very sharp, and I like them to wedge apart whatever it is that I'm cutting. In the space between the idler pulley and the platen here, that will conform just enough to give us that convex bevel. So we're doing this freehand. I like to lock my elbows against my sides, take my wrist, use one of my fingers as a guide on the rail so I'm not moving up and down, and just simply work the edge back and forth over that gap there, letting the belt conform around the axe and put that convex bevel on there. Again, you're looking to raise a burr just like you do on a regular knife. Okay, we've got our burr raised. We're going to step through our belts from the 120 to the 600, just like we would on a knife. We've reduced our burr, and now we're going to remove it with our felt polishing belt, just like we would a knife. Got to check our edge.